Picture two potatoes on a plate. One is orange, soft, and naturally sweet. The other is pale, plain, and starchy. And almost instantly, many of us make the same quiet judgment. The sweet potato feels healthy. The white potato feels suspicious, heavy, fattening, maybe bad for blood sugar. But why do we think that so quickly? That is why the question of sweet potatoes versus potatoes is more interesting than it first seems. They are both familiar underground staples. Both have fed people for generations. So is the sweet potato really better? Or have we turned two ordinary foods into a story that is too simple? To understand that, we have to stop asking which one is good or bad, and start looking at what each root actually brings to the plate. Let's get into it right here on Secrets of Simple Things. Not a battle between good and bad. This is not a moral battle between one clean, virtuous root and one guilty, unhealthy one. A sweet potato is not automatically a superfood just because it is orange, and a regular potato is not automatically bad just because it is white. Both are starchy foods, both contain carbohydrates, both can provide useful nutrients, and both can change dramatically depending on how we cook and serve them. So the better question is not, which one wins? When people ask, are sweet potatoes healthier than potatoes? The honest answer depends on more than color. It is, what nutrition does each one carry? How does the body respond to it? Because the story is also in the skin, the color, the fiber, the portion size, the cooking method, and the things we put on top. And the first surprise is hidden right in the name. A sweet potato is not simply a sweeter potato. Sweet potatoes are not actually potatoes. That surprise starts with a fact that sounds like a technicality, but changes the whole comparison. A sweet potato is not actually a potato. The names make them feel like close relatives. They are both harvested from underground. They are both filling, easy to cook, and useful in similar ways. On the plate, they look like cousins, but in botany, they are more like two strangers wearing the same last name. A sweet potato is the edible root of a plant in the morning glory family. A regular potato is a tuber from the nightshade family. That means the white potato is actually more closely related to tomatoes and eggplants than it is to the sweet potato. Even the word potato is messy. It traces back to words used for sweet potatoes in the Americas, and only later became more strongly attached to the white potato in English. So before we compare their nutrition, remember, this is not the same food in two colors. That is what makes the sweet potato versus white potato comparison more complicated than it looks. These are different plants that ended up sharing a name because humans notice similar shapes, uses, and comfort on the dinner table. So if sweet potatoes are not just orange potatoes, what makes people see them as the healthier one? Why sweet potatoes got their healthy reputation? The answer begins with color. Sweet potatoes come in many varieties, from pale cream to purple, but the orange ones became the symbol of the healthy potato for a reason. That bright orange flesh comes largely from beta-carotene, a plant pigment the body can convert into vitamin A. Vitamin A helps support normal vision, skin, immune function, and growth. So orange sweet potatoes do not just bring starch to the plate. They bring color, and that color is carrying something useful. Sweet potatoes also contain vitamin C, vitamin B6, potassium, fiber, and smaller amounts of minerals. That combination gives them a strong nutritional image. They feel like a starch with a bonus package attached. But this is where the wording matters. Sweet potatoes are not medicine, and eating one every day does not erase the rest of a diet. Some plant compounds are studied for possible roles in health, but that is different from saying they cure anything. Their reputation is better understood in a simpler way. Compared with many ordinary starchy foods, sweet potatoes often bring more micronutrients along for the ride. They earn that reputation because they carry extra nutrients with the starch, but this is where the story often gets simplified too much. Sweet potatoes are still starchy food. Even with all those nutrients, a sweet potato is still a starchy food. It still contains carbohydrates. It still provides energy. And if you eat a large portion, especially without much protein, fat, or other fiber-rich foods around it, it can still affect blood sugar. So even a healthy-looking root still belongs in the larger conversation about carbohydrates and blood sugar. This is the part that often gets lost. This is the part that often gets lost. Sweet potatoes may bring more beta-carotene, more vitamin A, and a stronger micronutrient profile, but they do not escape the basic reality of being a carbohydrate-rich root. Their effect on blood sugar depends on variety, portion size, and cooking method. Depending on those factors, their glycemic impact can be closer to a regular potato than many people expect. A boiled sweet potato is not the same as a large baked one covered in syrup. So the twist is not that sweet potatoes avoid the carbohydrate question. The twist is that they bring starch with a better supporting cast: color, fiber, vitamins, and plant compounds. And once you see that, the regular potato starts to look a little less guilty than its reputation suggests. Regular potatoes are not the villain. The regular white potato has become one of those foods people blame almost automatically. It is treated like an empty starch, something that belongs next to fast food rather than in a balanced meal. But that reputation is not completely fair. A plain potato is not just a lump of calories. It contains potassium, vitamin C, vitamin B6, and some fiber, especially when the skin is left on. Potatoes are also filling, simple, cheap, and historically important. Their problem is not that they have no value. Their problem is that they are easy to overeat, and they often come in forms that change the whole story. A boiled potato is one thing. A baked potato with the skin is one thing. But fries, chips, or mashed potatoes loaded with butter, cream, cheese, and salt are something else entirely. White potatoes can have a relatively high glycemic impact compared with many non-starchy vegetables, so portion size still matters. But eaten reasonably, with the skin, and prepared simply, they can fit into a balanced diet. The potato's problem is not that it has no value. Its problem is that humans rarely leave it alone. Because the moment these roots enter the kitchen, the comparison changes completely. The kitchen can change everything. This is where the comparison leaves the nutrition chart and returns to the kitchen. A plain sweet potato, baked until soft or boiled, can be a strong choice. It already has natural sweetness, so it does not need much help. Add a little salt or olive oil, and it can feel satisfying without becoming heavy. But the word sweet potato does not protect a dish from what humans do next. Cover it with brown sugar, syrup, marshmallows, or a thick sweet glaze, and the story changes. Slice it into fries and cook it in a deep fryer, and it moves closer to the foods people were trying to avoid. The same is true for white potatoes. A boiled potato or a baked potato with the skin on can be simple and reasonable. But turn that same potato into chips, French fries, or mashed potatoes loaded with butter, cream, cheese, and salt, and suddenly the potato is carrying a different nutritional package. This is why the debate can be misleading. People are often comparing a plain roasted sweet potato to French fries, or a health food version of one root to the most indulgent version of the other. That is not a fair fight. A sweet potato covered in sugar is not automatically better than a plain boiled potato. A potato roasted with its skin and a little olive oil is not the same as a basket of fries. Sometimes the healthier root is not decided in the ground. It is decided in the kitchen. So after all of that, does the sweet potato win? The edge comes from the whole package. The honest answer is, often sweet potatoes have the edge. But not for the reason people imagine. They do not win because they are carb-free. They are not. They do not win because they are a magical superfood. They are still a starchy food, and portion size still matters. Their advantage is more ordinary and more interesting. Orange sweet potatoes often bring beta-carotene, vitamin A, fiber, potassium, vitamin C, and other useful nutrients along with their starch. They are not just giving the body energy, they are giving it a broader package. But white potatoes are not empty either. They can provide potassium, vitamin C, vitamin B6, fiber from the skin, and a simple kind of food that has supported people for centuries. So the real difference is not good root versus bad root. It is the whole package: the starch, the portion size, the fiber, the micronutrients, the cooking method, and everything added on top. Sweet potatoes often have the edge, but they do not win by being less like food and more like medicine. They win because they carry more useful things along with the starch. The real lesson on the plate. So the next time you see a sweet potato and a regular potato side by side, the story does not have to be healthy versus guilty. One is an edible root from the morning glory family, carrying beta-carotene and other micronutrients behind its orange color. The other is a tuber from the nightshade family, still offering potassium, vitamins, and fiber when its skin is left on. Neither one is perfect. Neither one is useless. A plain sweet potato can be strong, but cover it in sugar or fry it in oil and the image changes. A regular potato can be reasonable, but load it with butter, cream, cheese, or salt, and it becomes something else. The real lesson is how quickly we label food. The secret is not that one root is pure and the other is bad. Food is rarely that simple. Sometimes the difference between healthy and unhealthy is not the thing itself, but the story we put around it. If this changed the way you look at two ordinary roots, subscribe to Secrets of Simple Things. And if there is another everyday food, object, or habit you think we should uncover next, leave it in the comments. Sometimes the simplest things hide the best stories.